Hey everybody, and welcome to Ladies Lounge. Now, I don't know about you, but today is going to be a good one. I hope you're all ready. If you got your cup of tea, if you got your juices, let's get down and dirty. Let's enjoy today's session with my lovely co-host. I've got the wonderful Amanda. How are you, Amanda?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very, very good. And I've got the wonderful Nashe.
Hey, lovely. I'm good. How are you today?
I'm good. But before we get into everything, ladies, because today's one is going to be about us as ladies, because I feel like we should be spilling some toy.
Of course.
So, give us a bit more background. How are you guys doing? What's been up? What's the latest? What's the 411, as they say? Did they even say that still? I don't know.
No, this one what's been going on. What's
411?
It's okay. It's okay. Wow.
411. What's been going on? Just busy. There's always something to do. There's always something to tick off. But it's been a good year. The year's about to wrap up. It's been a good year. It's been a year of just healing, realigning, and yeah, it's been good. It's been
I
good.
hope you found time in there for the extra person on your side, left or right.
In this current market, in this current state. Yeah.
Naja, who's keeping you warm in this cold?
Whoa.
Place?
Do you know what? My mom could be watching this, and all my aunties and uncles.
This is a family show. Continue.
My hot water bottle is keeping me warm. How about that?
Fine. You are really trying it. But don't worry, we'll get into it with today's question. The main question is, and people are asking, or should I say, we all want to know, as wonderful ladies of colour, we're all representing some colour right about now. Do you ever feel the ick? Do you ever have an issue? Do you ever hear the dreaded question, when are you getting married?
100%, because why am I 26 and they told me by 26 I should be married, I should have a kid. Do you know what I mean? But it's because they've told us this growing up. Like, you know, by the time you get to a certain age, you'll be kind of settled down, you'll have a kid and you'll be married. I'm 26 going on to 27. Like, no one's in sight. The market's crazy. No one wants to take anything serious anymore. It's situationship after situation, or let's just go with the flow. Where does the flow really take us? So I don't know. It's not easy. The dating scene right now, it's not easy. It's not fun. It's not fun anymore. It's not fun to date. I think that's where I'm at the moment. It's not fun to date. But then obviously you hear the question, when you get married, you know, is there someone there? No, there isn't. If there was, you would see him. But
you do realise that I didn't ask about the dating scene. I asked like when you're getting married. You don't have to date. Oh, am I lying?
Yeah. Well.
How are you gonna just get married without dating?
Some cultures get married without dating, I suppose. But no. I must know. Try before you buy. Like, you must know who you're going to spend the. Oh no, just as in, like, I must date someone and see whether our values align, whether like there's chemistry, whether like we have the same vision of where we're trying to go. Like, ultimately that's going to be the person that I raise my children with, so it has to be the right person.
Okay. Do you hear it as a dreaded question as well, when are you getting married?
I think after 30, the question is no longer when are you going to get married. Sometimes it's prayer points. Like, you know, they'll just slide in whilst everybody's praying to leave, and then you'll just hear, oh, by the way, you know, Lord, as you've done it for others, do it. Or even, like, have you been to a wedding, right? And then someone will come and say, oh, don't worry, your turn will come. Who told you I'm worried?
Yeah, because where's the worrying even come from? Because you're not worried. So, but I guess it's like growing up, especially growing up in an African household, you see so many of your sisters, your cousins, you're told in church as well, like growing up in a Christian household, that, you know, like when it's time you'll get married, you know, you find the guy, but still looking for the guy's not here. So I don't think it's more of a pressure anymore, because again, my parents they've never put that pressure, especially my mom, especially my dad. It's never been like when you're getting married. It's more of like whenever you're ready, it be your time. And with me, I'm just I want to travel the world. I'm a city girl. Like, we just want to be having fun and doing all that stuff. So it's not a dreaded question, but it's an expected question, I guess, more than anything.
I love the fact that you said your parents don't even like aren't the ones pressurizing you, because I feel like sometimes it's the auntie that's not even related to you that will just come with her left-sided questions like excuse me. I remember like growing up, my grandma used to always say, like my paternal grandmother, she said, your education is your first husband, and she brought up her daughters to think in that way. And in essence, like we were brought up to think your education is your first husband, and so education for us was the priority, and like getting your career sorted, achieving things. And it's such a shame that we live in a society that doesn't actually highlight the achievements that we do as women, like working in big corporate organizations, running charities like what you guys do. And then all of a sudden, if there's no ring on your finger, then that diminishes everything else, and that becomes that you're a failure. So I think...
Did you say failure?
Yeah, I feel like some people absolutely observe you being single as a failure. Yeah, I was talking to someone about it, and I was like, singleness is not a disease, you know.
It's actually okay.
It's all right.
Okay,
and I'd rather sleep and keep myself warm with my hot water bottle than have somebody come and cause me headache.
Yeah.
If it's not the dreaded question, is being single something that you've put on a timeline for yourselves personally, or is it something that you're like, do you know what, I'm going to max out, you said 27, until I'm 30, 35, 40, I don't know, 100, until you say, yeah, or is it about if the right person steps, or are you willing to step?
Ooh, do you know what, I like the thing of that, are you willing to step, because we're seeing more and more, I think especially in this generation, in this era, of women just shooting their shot. And I say amazing to them because I'm for women, but personally, no. Because then what about she says no or rejects me, and it's just like...
That's from the guy's side, they will say the same as well. That in
I
today's
know.
world, these modern women that are powered, they don't they can say no.
And then I'm trying to text him, I'm feeling, I'm like, hey, and then he just kind of airs me. Do you think I'll be okay with? No. I think maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just a me thing, but I've always seen, like, you know, a guy approaching you, messaging you, kind of pursuing you is kind of where I see stuff. But I see a lot more women, especially like on TikTok and Instagram, you see women like, this is how I met my husband, this is how I met my boyfriend. I literally just saw him, I said hi, I messaged him, and I like, to women that do that, they are bold, like they are great women, because I could never. But to women that will,
someone would easily say that you're a bold woman, Amanda. That yeah, because you control rooms and avenues and areas.
But to message someone, would you guys be open to like shooting your shot? Would you be open to? Would you be open to me sending a DM, being like, hey, you know, I'm feeling you?
Standard straight. No.
Oh,
I used to be a chick, but
really, you've done it before.
Hey, you saying, fam? That was me.
Really?
Hey.
Like with boldness.
Whatever you wanted, you go and get.
Like you'd message and be like, "Hey."
At work, I apply it with my household.
With everything.
That's what I used to do. I used to be like, what are you saying? And if they said no, it's calm. Later's bounce. If they said yeah, would you get? What
was the reception though? Because I'm actually eager to know, like, what was the reception when you did, versus from like, let's say a guy approaching you and talking to you and being like, hey, what's up? Between you approaching the guy, what was the dynamic like in that way? Like, is it different? Is it?
I'll be totally honest. Me approaching him, there was no issue.
Yeah.
I've had to stop myself and retrain myself not to do that and not be that person, purely because of the feedback that I was hearing from my counterparts and friends, the close ones who are my ride or dies. They would say to me, Sakina, certain people wouldn't approach you because they felt intimidated about me because of what I control and what I do in my day-to-day life, so they felt intimidated. So to me, that just equated to emasculate. And I sat there and I thought to myself, I can't emasculate someone's son. That's just off key. So I thought, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
However, when guys approach me, Lord, please forgive me, if I've offended you, but I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just saying my truth. It always happens to be the ones I don't like.
Oh gosh.
Brother, like. Really? Thank you, but no thank you. Like, how many times can you say thank you, but no thank you?
Yeah.
Do you get me? So it was like, but then I look at it, like some of my friends will say, even the female friends will say, right, that guy's actually got balls to step to you, Sakina, because we all know what you're like.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say? But the ones that I've even had a little in my eye to, I have not been in this version of Sakina,
Yeah.
I've not been able to. They could be around me, they could even be naked, they could whatever. Me, I will not, I will just turn my head. I will not. I will
You'll be
control
suffering
myself.
inside.
My dear, they're coming in there, Santa Rosa, prayer inside, you don't know.
Do you know, I feel like there's such a societal shift now, like where I suppose growing up, we were always told that the woman is the prize and you've got to, you know, like be chaste.
Yeah,
because even from a Bible, like biblical perspective, they say like the husband shall leave their family and cleave to his wife. So it's like they're chasing, right? But all of a sudden, I think men really think that they're the prize these days.
There's a lot of guys, let's just say, looking in their own mirror. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys who have cleaned their mirrors with some Mr. Muscle nicely, and they are feeling themselves.
Yeah.
Their chest is high, and I'm more power to them because it's about time that everybody embraces who they are
Yeah,
that's
and
true.
are able to exude what they want to do. But when it comes to a cockiness where you're being rude about it, allow it. Like I ain't got time for that. But at the same time, I totally hear you because it's not easy being who you are and then trying to say, yeah, I want to do this and get this, and because people's perceptions on people is different. Like, look at us. We all live at different parts across this wonderful country.
Let's not get Sakina started on country.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Londoners are with me, fam. We don't see countryside like that. Like, if we want to see countryside, we'll take a drive down to, I don't know, Kent or
That's not country.
Manchester and Sheffield. Anyway.
Wow. Anyways, okay, Sakina, back to topic. How about that?
I'm joking. But when you think about it, how do you feel? Like, if people are watching this and there's some, in all seriousness, all the jokes aside, people are going to be sitting there. Some people may have this as a real issue for them. Some people are not as confident. Like, none of us was born with confidence.
Yeah.
We've
Something that you build on.
developed,
Yeah, of course.
over the years. And I don't even think it's about a confidence thing. It's about what you want and how you can maneuver those different avenues and those different sidelines.
Yeah.
So what would you say to somebody, or the younger you, who didn't have that much confidence about that dreaded question? What would your advice be to them?
It's a really good question. I think for me, it's stay true to yourself, because ultimately you're the one that has to live with your decisions. Like, no one else gets to live with your decisions. The people that ask you that dreaded question, they'll come to your wedding one day and then they'll eat your jollof rice. Then they'll go home and then they'll, live their lives. You're the one that has to face your decision in the morning. So make sure you're making the right decision. Like, I love the fact that I have so many young, beautiful women that look up to me and think, oh, actually, you know what? I can continue to enjoy my life and strive for the best. And when the husband comes, the husband will come, and he'll be part of that. I would rather not settle because of other people's pressures, and to make sure that I make the choices that make me happy and the choices that are best for me, because I have to be the one to live with those choices.
And how about you, Matt? What would you say?
Don't let the pressure get to you. Like, live life, be a baby girl, like travel, get to know people. Like, don't rush into it, because the worst thing you can do is rush into something because you feel pressure into doing it. And I understand, like, you can feel the pressure from your parents. You see your friends getting married, you see your friends getting engaged, you see your cousins, but don't let that pressure get to you, because things happen in due time. If you want to see the world, you want to travel, you want to change career, you want to maybe see this guy and date this guy, and it's okay. Like, it's okay to get to know people. There's no rush. And I think the main thing I would say, there's no rush. We've got time, and don't let society tell you, you've got to do this by 21, you've got to do this by 25. There's no time limit. Like, there's no time limit. And I think that's what sometimes gets women, because they might be feeling, okay, I'm getting to a certain point where I don't see anyone, there's no potential, but I want to have kids, or I want to do this, and my family's looking at me like, where's the husband? It's like, no, it's okay. Like, take the time to get to know yourself, build the life that you want, and the husband, like you said, the husband will come when it's time, and then they'll be a part of your life. They're just an added addition more than them resolving around everything. So it's just take your time, live life, and just kind of enjoy the journey more than anything. It's not a competition, it's not a race. Everyone's doing it in their own pace, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Very true. No, definitely, I concur with what you guys have said, definitely, because it's your own. You definitely it's your own race. There is no time limits on it, according to your own standards. But the funny thing I always think as well is, before we go on the break, I'll just say is that, coming from backgrounds of colour, whether it is in Africa or the West Indies or different parts of the world of colour, the pressure is on, I would say, in terms of the mindset of culture. Because, for instance, I don't know about all parts of Africa, but the western part of Africa, west side of Africa, the pressure is on in the sense that we look at things differently. So, being 27 or being 45 and going back home...
Why did you look at me and say being 45? Anyways.
Yeah, they would say, "Rah, at these ages you still haven't had a child, you haven't got married." Whereas here, our outlook is more, in the UK, is more about having financial stability, having a career and progression, and then family after. Whereas back home, it's family first, and unless tomorrow for everything else. But no, I'm loving this. See, I told you. Didn't I tell you? Anyway, stay here. Go warm up that tea. Go and find a biscuit or two, because the juice is coming up. Join us back in a sec when we shall see you for part 2.